Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Here at Be Real with D Real, we endeavor to try to make life easier for people who are struggling. And by people who are struggling, I mean Marvel and Disney Studios. Phase 4 put them behind the ball financially in the worst kind of way. And as I have always been a fan of Marvel and Marvel comics, I don't want them to just completely fail, but I cannot stand by idly as they endeavor to fail more than they endeavor not to. That might be an opinion, might be a lot of Marvel fans disagree, but here's the thing. I see a lot of major problems, but one major problem I keep seeing that keeps jumping out at me is the murdering of bad guys. Now, I know with Quantumania, this just recent movie, they didn't murder Kang because they want to make Kang the big bad later on in a different phase. Now, that's cool, but what if there was a way to fix that problem and still have your favorite villains around? Give up? Doggone it, you shouldn't give up. Just gonna throw a name out there at you: the Legion of the Unliving. I'm gonna give you a history of the Legion of the Unliving. Now, before we get into that, and I give you my little summary, I need y'all to do what y'all always do. Well, you mans in them, right? Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this page right here. Now, the Legion of the Unliving. Who are they? That's a cool name, by the way. But let's learn. The Legion of the Unliving made their debut in the pages of Avengers number 131, all the way back in 1974, I want to say. Kang, look how Kang figures into it. Kang is responsible for the Legion of the Unliving. How? Now, back in the 70s, Kang and Ramatut will always have problems, okay? And so he decided that he was going to try to supplant him, along with the help of Immortus, who Immortus is sometimes a good guy and sometimes he's a bad guy, but Immortus is a future version of Kang, if you can't tell from the color scheme. But here's what's getting ready to happen. Ramatut gonna sit in some glass and learn about how Kang is going to pluck certain characters out of time, brainwash them, and send them against the Avengers. But now these people they plucking out of time and sending against the Avengers in real time are either already dead or are dead beings of some sort. So out of the annals of time, Kang decides he wants to pull, first and foremost, the Frankenstein monster. Wow. Okay. Already did, right? Power and fear, the building blocks of conquest, he said. Up next, from 1964, you got Wonder Man, who wasn't really dead, but then that's explained retroactively, but then that makes, never mind. The original Human Torch, that's the android Human Torch. So technically, Never alive. Anyway, Midnight, a foe of Shang-Chi. Why are we using him against the Avengers? I need to stop. Let me stop it. The Ghost. This ghost fella is actually the what is known as the actual Flying Dutchman. That's that guy right there. And finally, Baron Zemo. Why we would pull Baron Zemo? I don't. Oh, he's a karate master. That's right. Okay, but I guess he's supposed to hold everything together. Now, this is the first incarnation of the Legion of the Unliving. They were set against the Avengers. The Avengers managed to overcome them, but they took some heavy damage in the process. Now, the Avengers they were fighting, you saw on the cover of that comic, along with Mantis, who is a hell of a lot more cooler in the comics than she is cinematic. The Legion of the Unliving were not just a creation of Kang. Kang might have created them originally, but a lot of other people took the Legion of the Unliving and ran with it. Let's look at a couple of them. Now, the second incarnation of the Legion of the Unliving made its debut in Avengers Giant Size Annual number 16, all the way back in 1987. Not as far back, but a little farther back. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, is the largest incarnation or the largest amount of characters brought back to face off against the Avengers. But I know back in the late 80s, there was the Avengers and there was the Avengers West Coast. And what they did in their annuals for a couple of years, they would team up and they'd have like a two-part story. One part of the story would take place in either West Coast Avengers and conclude in the Avengers annual or vice versa. So as you can see on the cover, they were coming with some heavy hitters, a lot heavier than what you see on the cover. I'm going to show you that. Now, what's going on here is the Grandmaster has actually captured Death, which is weird. And so, in order for them to be able to free Death, because now the Grandmaster has the power over Death, they're like, oh, we got to do something to help Death. You know, because death is the natural order of things. People are born, they live, and they die. But if the Grandmaster is in control of death, is triumphed over death, because he wants to bring his brother, the Collector, back to life, as we remember from the original Contest of Champions. Oh, you don't remember? I got a video on it. I will post it at the end so that you can peruse that video and see what happened there. Now, the Avengers, of course, are challenging, and so we know the Grandmaster likes a good game. And for his squad, this is who my man chooses for his Legion of the Unliving. Right there, you got Bucky. Oh, that's a cold one to pick. Technically, he was never dead either. See what retroconning does or retconning. You got Bucky, you got Nathan Garrett, the original Black Knight. You have Dracula, who was already dead. The Swordsman, Nighthawk, the Executioner, Terrax, Captain Marvel, in one of the few times he actually did come back from the dead. Baron Blood, World War II Nazi vampire, Hyperion, the Green Goblin, Drax the Destroyer before he got corny, the Red Guardian, Death Adder, and that guy in the middle between Death Adder and Green Goblin is Korvac. Now, there are people in this lineup who could solo that group of Avengers. Korvac has soloed that group and tougher. Now, What ends up happening in this comic book, because we don't want to bore you with it, they get into fights and a lot of Avengers die. And because the Avengers die, the ones that die get added to the Legion of the Unliving. Ooh, how you gonna win against that? Both Hawkeye and Captain America are the only Avengers who managed to survive this. Grandmaster has renewed his Legion, and their teammates are among them. Silver Surfer? Yeesh. First, Hawkeye's wilding out. Cap's got to smack him to get him. Like, bruh, snap out of it. I need you, bro. And now, in a rare moment, Hawkeye comes up with a great idea. Got 2 arrows left. I'm going to pop out an arrowhead, put it on there. And now you have to guess which arrow has the arrowhead on it. Because the Grandmaster can't resist playing a game, he chooses an arrow. Why not? Go ahead, go for it. This one or that one? Come on, Grandmaster, which one you pick? And he picks one. Uh-oh, you lose. And he distracted the Grandmaster long enough for Death to get free. And we learn after the Grandmaster dispatched, Hawkeye saved the universe by, yep, cheating. Absolutely cheating. We go on to get yet another incarnation of the Legion of the Unliving. This time we got a crazy Wanda, and Immortus is behind it. And you can see on the cover, we have again original Human Torch, again Black Knight, Nathan Garrett, and that Iron Man you see, that is Arno Stark. He's a 21st century Iron Man. Weird. Right winger and left winger, those used to be buddies of U.S. Agent when he was still the Super Patriot. Then we have again the Swordsman back for round 3. He's a member who has been in, I think, every incarnation of the Legion of the Unliving. And of course, you got the villainous Grim Reaper. And then this fella in the back called Urt, the Living Comet. So, yeah. Then there is Avengers 354. This story actually starts off in 353, if I'm not mistaken. But the Grim Reaper, who is dead but is somehow now undead, creates his own version of the Legion of the Unliving. And here that version consists of, there you got Baron Zemo, Black Knight, Red Guardian. And they are like zombies. See what I'm saying? This was the precursor to Marvel Zombies. And Vision is dealing with vampires And he's been hitting them with solar energy, and that's just a temporary tactic. So logic dictates he withdraw. Meanwhile, Hercules is going at it with Count Nefaria, good grief, and the Stalker from the Stars. See what I'm saying? Usually there's folks in the Legion of the Unliving that could solo. Legion of Dead Nefaria was all you would need. Hercules getting DP. Let's dip over to 353. There is the Legion of the Unliving that they are facing. Necrotimus the Sorcerer, the Alien Star Stalker, Count Nefaria, Inferno, the Vampire Amenhotep, Nebulon the Celestial Man, the First Red Guardian, the original Black Knight, and of course, Baron Zemo. Not too terrible a lineup, but pretty darn formidable. And then the final incarnation of the Legion of the Unliving appears in the George Perez, Kurt Busiek run on Avengers. My favorite artist, one of my favorite artists. And you've got that dead Grim Reaper who's able to summon the Unliving because he's got mystical powers now. And he's got the lineup. He mystically manifests himself at an Avengers parade. And hurls the Legion of the Unliving at him. Captain Marvel making a return. Dr. Druid. Bleh. Hellcat. Ooh. Mockingbird. Good thing Hawkeye. Well, Hawkeye is there, ain't he? Swordsman. Again, the only member of the Legion of the Unliving that has been in every incarnation of the group. Except the first, but he ended up getting killed. And I don't think he wasn't available because he was doing something else at the time, but I'm pretty sure he could have been. All but one incarnation. There you go. Thunderstrike. Ooh, good pick. Yeah. And then there's one more. Guess who? Wonder Man. Oh my goodness. So that was the last, I believe, that we saw of the Legion of the Unliving. Now, here's how it relates to what I've been saying. Instead of just murking all of these villains, you could bring them back. You got Kang. He can pluck them out of time. Ironmonger. Killmonger. Who else we got that's dead? You could even throw Crow in there from the Eternals if you wanted to have, somebody dead. There's another dead somebody you could throw in there to add to your Legion of the Unliving. If you needed to, you could pluck Arnim Zola out of time and do something with him. There's another villain, perfectly great villain, just sitting around. You're not doing nothing with him. You got dead characters that instead of wasting them, put them all in a movie together and make them the Legion of the Unliving. Works for me. And then again, it supports what I say about everything not having to be an over-the-top cosmic thing. Those are for more that would be a formidable battle, especially for these brand new Avengers, that's coming into the game. That'd be a hell of a fight for them. So, rather than destroying, build, recycle. What do y'all think about that? Would a Legion of the Unliving be a great idea for the MCU? If anything, they could save money on special effects. I don't know. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.